Hi, my name is Margaret and welcome to my artsy corner of the internet. Today, what are we going to do? We're gonna watch ballet. So, Le Seraphim, I don't know why I did spirit fingers for their name. Le Seraphim is a girl group, and I recently found out that one of their members used to be a ballet dancer, and I was like, perfect. We're just gonna appreciate the ballet technique that she has and talk about ballet today. And that is it. So this first one is apparently an iconic intro. Opera and Kazuha. I'm so sorry if I'm saying her name right. We're wrong. I wouldn't have to be sorry if I said it right, but I have a problem. I have a problem. I do have a problem. Should I be filming a video right now? It seems like words and I are fighting. I don't know anything about opera, but I do kind of know about ballet. I have a degree in it. So, oh, she's cutting her hair. That's me every night. I highly recommend you guys go watch the opera. It's beautiful. Love it. I don't want to get copyrighted though, and I know nothing about opera, so there's nothing I can add to that. I feel like this is kind of semi-based on Swan Lake, I would assume. Oh, yes, leg. Anytime that ballet is used in like a non-ballet context, it's always Swan Lake inspired. They always have the Swan Lake arms going, always. We don't know why. When people think about ballet, I feel like it's usually the point shoes and the legs going up high. But so much of ballet is the transition steps. For a lot of dancers, they never really do the big hard steps. I mean, I shouldn't say never. A ballet company is arranged into different tiers. So you have your prima ballerinas, which are like the lead roles, the stars of the ballet. But a lot of dancers are in the corps de ballet, spelled CORPS, because it's French. And what that is it depends on the size of the company, obviously, but like 20 girls who are always dancing in sync with each other. A lot of times what they're doing on stage is just holding a beautiful position or walking from one place and then walking to the other and supporting the soloists who are dancing around them. And then of course they have big group dances. And honestly, being a part of the corps de ballet is a lot harder than being a soloist because you have to be perfectly in sync with like 20 other people on stage and be conscious of where the soloists are. Like you have so many roles, so many moving parts. Round of applause to all the corps de ballet girls out there. I feel like the way to tell a really amazing ballet dancer is not in how many turns they can do, how high their leg goes, all these things. To tell a real amazing ballet dancer is to see how they do the most simple of steps. So watching this little snippet of choreography already, I can tell that she has a very, very strong ballet training because she's just walking, doing almost like a little arm and a fondue and then walking back. But you can already see the elegance and grace that she holds, and that is from years of training a technique. So much of ballet technique is actually those in-between steps. Anyway, she has a great quality of movement. Oh, cute. Oh, I kind of love the fusion. Ballet and hip hop have been merging in the contemporary world recently, but I feel like it's a ballet technique and hip hop technique merging into a contemporary aesthetic. Like I've never seen ballet and commercial styles of dance combined in this way, and it's really interesting. Like this is a very balletic line. This is a pirouette. That turn is called a pirouette in ballet. It's very interesting. I actually really enjoy that. I just watched it like 10 times because I wanted to see everybody do the pirouette. And I mean, it's clear that Kazuha is the only one with ballet training. I found that dancers pretty much in any training can do a single ballet pirouette because they know like the mechanics of spinning on one leg essentially. But doing like a ballet pirouette is such an unnatural coordination. It's very natural for dancers because we've been doing it our whole lives. But for anybody else to do it, it's such like a weird combinations of moves to make your body do. We do something in ballet called turning out. So your feet are like this, now make them go like this. That is like a fundamental of ballet technique. And you can tell because Kazuha comes down to a fifth position, which is a ballet technical position. But then she comes up and she has her legs look like this, where the rest of the members are doing this, which is parallel, which we don't really do in ballet unless if you're doing like a modern contemporary neoclassical choreography, but parallel doesn't really exist within the confines of like classical ballet technique. But yeah, that's also something that like is super unnatural, unless if you train it into your body through ballet. That's also amazing. When they do the little turnaround, she comes to a fifth. And so in ballet technique, you step up, cross your legs, and then you twist from there and do the turn. It's called a soutenu, whereas if you're just trying to get the illusion of turning around, you can do a 3-step turn, which does not require a susu like this. So yeah, there's just little things like that where you're like, you've done ballet. Genuinely, I enjoyed that little fusion ballet thing at the end. This video is her from before she was in the K-pop industry. I don't know exactly what this is, to be honest, but I'm assuming that it's a ballet competition. In America, there's competition dance, and then there's dance teams, which also compete. But then there's also ballet competitions, and they're all very different. But ballet competitions are ballet students who learn variations and then take them to competitions and compete for who has the best technique, stage presence, performance, all the things. Variations, if you don't know, are short solos from ballets. So there's a bunch of classical ballets, Swan Lake, The Nutcracker, Coppelia, La Female Garde, what are other ones? Esmeralda, Don Quixote. These are all like classical ballets, and a lot of them have pretty cemented choreographies. So they were choreographed in like the 1800s, and people will often use the original choreography or as close to the original choreography as possible. So the variations are essentially solos. So there's female variations and then male variations, and so they'll pop up throughout the ballet. But they're usually like these 2-minute solos filled with a bunch of really hard technical skills, turns, leaps, legs, all the things. So they're just short bursts of really challenging choreography, but they're pretty much the same across the board. It's not like you re-choreograph the dance every single time you do the ballet. It's pretty much set in stone. And so dancers will choose a different solo from these different ballets and then compete. So she's on point here, which already means that she's of a high level. Sorry, I forgot to finish my sentence. Oh, this is Lilac Fairy from Sleeping Beauty. Yeah. Her lines are very, very nice. Oh, my computer's about to die. What was I going to say? 1, her feet are great. She has great arches. It's a weird thing to say. It's a very normal compliment in the ballet world. Dancers always want high arches because then their feet point more. And in ballet, the pointed foot is what you want. We call them banana feet because they look like bananas. Or you're like me and you have biscuits. Why do we call them biscuits feet? I don't know, but they don't point. They're like a little... Anyway, the only thing is like if you have a very high arch and you're on point, it can be a little bit more dangerous because the box of a point shoe is about that big. She's up on her actual toes in there. And since she has a more flexible foot, it looks more balletically, aesthetically pleasing because she's like this on the ground. But she also has more chance of rolling over the top of that box. Whereas people with less of an arch, it might not look as pretty because it's not as... But there's less likelihood of you going over the top of your box and hurting your ankle because your ankle just doesn't bend like that, which means her feet had to be very strong. And then there's also elastics and ribbons tied onto point shoes. If you've ever noticed, like the point shoe where the ribbons go up, they do not go all the way up the leg. They just go around like once. But those ribbons are on there to kind of help hold you in the shoe and give you more support. But yeah, the ribbons on point shoes are functional, not aesthetic. Ooh, that was nice. She has... Yeah. Her lines are beautiful. How do I say this? Often I've found in ballet there are kind of 2 tendencies of dancer. There's usually the lines focused where they have beautiful legs that go up very high. And when I talk about lines, I mean like lines of the body. The knee is straight, the feet are pointed, the leg goes up high, and just the lines that the body make, like from toe to hip to toe and from finger down body to the foot. Like those lines are very beautiful to look at. And I think she has this very soft elegance and grace to her, which is perfect for ballet. But the lines of her body are also very, very nice. There is another side of ballet that there are dancers who tend more towards jumping and jumping high and fast little movements. And so everybody has to have both in ballet. You can't just be beautiful and graceful, or you can't just be strong. You have to be both. You have to kind of work on whichever one comes less naturally to you. But she has really beautiful lines, and I'm just gonna keep on saying that because they're really nice. That balance was really nice as well. So there we got like a little bit of the jumping. This is a very difficult variation. That is really great. I'm jealous. I want her legs. She definitely has beautiful legs. I think definitely in the jumps, she lacks getting some of that extra power so that she can get high off the ground. Of course, these variations, they might be short, but they are deceptively difficult. I mean, you're wheezing after 2 minutes. The men's variations, oh my gosh, those things are literally, some of them are 30 seconds, but you feel like you ran a marathon after them. All of the moves that she's doing at the end are like 10 times harder because she's already done so many technical feats before that. So that's why variations are so hard and often why they're competed with. But you could see she kind of struggled to get off the ground in some of those jumps. If that's not her strong suit and she's tired, it's going to be the first thing to go. Like when I'm tired or when I'm out of practice, like if I haven't danced for a couple weeks, my leg will be like, like slightly above 90. And then like I take a week off of dance and it's like, but yeah, no, her lines are stunning. And also a lot of her balances, she knows exactly where her weight is because she's up balancing on the tips of her toes without really any struggle. She is legit. I'm a little bit jealous now of her lines. I think, like if she's not using them anymore, she could just maybe like forward them to me. I'd love some extensions that go up that high. But yeah, thank you guys for watching Dance with me today. I hope to see you guys again very soon, and bye.